In the first part of our journey, we explored how Sage Agastya shaped the spiritual and geographical landscapes of northern India. Yet, if you travel to the deep south of the Indian subcontinent, or even across the seas to Southeast Asia, you will find Agastya not just as a mythological figure, but as the very father of their civilization. In this part, we will delve into the eternal legacy of the Patriarch of the South. The occasion was the grand celestial wedding of Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati in the Himalayas. It was a gathering unlike any other. Devas, Asuras, Ganas, and revered sages, all drawn to the great mountain in the north. The immense concentration of divine weight would have caused the northern hemisphere of the earth to dip dangerously. To restore the planetary balance, Lord Shiva commanded Agastya to travel to the southernmost tip of the peninsula. Because Agastya's spiritual weight was equal to the combined mass of all the gods in heaven, his mere presence in the south leveled the earth. Shiva granted a boon. Agastya would be able to witness the marriage ceremony from the south, exactly as it was happening in Kailash. As Agastya departed for the south, he arrived at the breathtaking waterfalls of Courtallam. He approached the main temple, but the Vaishnavat priests, noting Agastya's Shaivat ash, barred the sage from entering. He disguised himself entirely as a Vaishnavat devotee, wearing a tulsi mala around his neck and a large tiruman on his forehead. Welcomed warmly, he entered the sanctum sanctorum. Standing before the towering granite idol of Vishnu, Agastya placed his hands upon the deity's head. Funneling pure cosmic energy, he reshaped the hard stone idol into the smooth, cylindrical shape of a Shivlingam. To this day, the deity is worshipped as Courtalnatha, as a reminder of Agastya's miraculous powers and the unity of the divine. Lopamudra had left the royal halls of Vidarbha to walk the ascetic path with the great sage Agastya. She accepted him as her husband under one sacred, unbreakable vow: he must never leave her alone, or she would dissolve her mortal form and return to the earth as a river. Far beyond their tranquil mountain retreat, the southern lands were dying. A merciless drought had scorched the earth, turning ancient life to dust. The Devas knew that only a force of untainted purity could break this barren curse. They looked toward the high peaks, knowing that the essence of the Vidarbha princess was the only salvation for the suffering earth. Bound by their vow, Agastya could not leave her to enter his deep meditation. Invoking his yogic power, the devoted sage transformed her divine essence into sacred water. By sealing her safely within his kamandal, he fiercely protected their unbreakable bond. But the suffering of the southern lands was too great to ignore. The Devas knew her destiny belonged to the earth. Taking the form of a celestial crow, Lord Ganesh descended. With a single, deliberate push, he tipped the kamandal. The seal broke. The water spilled. In that instant, Agastya's vow was undone. Awakening to find his sacred vow shattered, the great sage was consumed by a fierce, protective wrath. He raised his hand to curse the creature that had robbed him of his beloved. But as the crow dissolved into a blinding light, revealing the majestic, divine form of Lord Ganesh, Agastya's fury melted into awe. He realized this was a cosmic leela. The earth was dying, and the heavens had intervened. Because the sage had honored his promise and never willingly abandoned her, the universe granted a merciful grace. The flawless creation split her essence. The spilled waters roared down the hills, transforming into the endless, purifying river Kaveri to wash away the famine of the south. But from the heart of the sacred waters, her mortal form remained. Lopamudra stood by her husband's side, a devoted wife in the mountains, and a divine mother to the lands below. Agastya's arrival brought the very foundations of civilization to the deep south. He is deeply revered by ancient farming communities as the pioneer of southern agriculture. Observing the wild, untamed jungles of the Dravidian landscape, Agastya instructed the early inhabitants in the precise arts of systematic forest clearing. Utilizing the newly birthed rivers like the Kaveri, he introduced the science of irrigation and water conservation. He taught the ancient tribes how to map the monsoon seasons and harness the land's potential. Under Agastya's direct guidance, the unforgiving terrains were transformed into highly fertile, agricultural powerhouses. Before Agastya's departure to the south, Lord Shiva bestowed upon him a gift of immeasurable value: the Tamil language. Upon settling in the Pothigai hills, Agastya became the linguistic architect of the region. Ancient Tamil traditions record that Sage Agastya presided over the first Tamil Sangam in the legendary, lost city of Madurai. Here, he authored the Agathyam, an encyclopedic text that laid down the definitive rules of Tamil grammar, syntax, and poetics. By bringing structure and divine sanction to the language, Sage Agastya is universally revered as the supreme father of Tamil, elevating it to a classical status rivaling Sanskrit. Deep within the misty forests of the Agastyamalai biosphere, Agastya established a secretive tradition. He is universally worshipped as the Pratham Siddhar, the first of the 18 Mahasiddhars of South India. Agastya mapped the invisible network of Nadis within the human body, founding Siddha medicine to cure incurable diseases. He also codified Varma Kalai, a classified martial art targeting the body's vital pressure points. Devotees firmly believe that Agastya perfected Kaya Kalpa, the science of cellular rejuvenation therapy designed to restore vitality, slow aging, and rejuvenate the mind and body, and resides in a state of physical immortality within the hidden peaks of the Western Ghats. Possessing the ability to see the past, present, and future simultaneously, Agastya peered through the veil of time. He witnessed the karmic destinies of millions of souls yet to be born and dictated these profound visions to his disciples, who etched them onto strips of palm leaves. Today, the practice of Nadi Jyotidam thrives across Tamil Nadu. Seekers match their unique thumbprints to specific leaves. It is believed that a person's entire life narrative and karmic remedies are written on these leaves by Agastya himself, connecting modern individuals directly to the ancient sage. While orthodox folklore paints him as a mystic, obscure texts portray Agastya as a visionary scientist. The controversial Agastya Samhita contains precise instructions for the generation of electricity. The verses describe placing a well-cleaned copper plate within an earthen vessel, adding copper sulfate, and covering it with a zinc amalgam to generate a force called Mitra, Varun, that produces light and breaks water into hydrogen and oxygen. These verses cement the belief that Agastya bridged the gap between spiritual enlightenment and material science. In the complex system of Indian astronomy, Agastya is identified with Canopus, the second brightest star in the night sky. As autumn approaches, the star Canopus rises majestically on the southern horizon. Ancient agronomy and Ayurvedic texts state that the very starlight of Agastya possesses the power to purify water. The moment the star ascends, it is believed that all the muddy monsoon waters of the earth undergo an alchemical shift, becoming crystal clear and potable. In honor of this cosmic cleansing, traditional Hindu almanacs prescribe the Agastyarghya, a twilight ritual to seek the sage's blessings. Because he had once drunk the ocean, Agastya became the supreme patron saint of ancient Indian sailors, protecting their fragile ships on their journeys toward Southeast Asia. In the royal courts of ancient Java, Bali, Sumatra, and Cambodia, Agastya was elevated to the status of Shivguru, the divine teacher. In the magnificent 9th century Prambanan temple complex in Indonesia, a towering statue of Sage Agastya stands permanently in the sacred southern sanctum. To the empire of Southeast Asia, Agastya was the ultimate bringer of civilization, Sanskrit, architecture, and cosmic law. In the cosmic architecture of time, the universe is governed by the Saptarishi, the 7 great seers appointed to guide humanity through the current age, the Vavaswat Manvantar. Born of miraculous divine origin from a sacred pitcher alongside his brother sage Vashisht, Agastya was originally destined to stand within this elite celestial brotherhood. However, Agastya's cosmic purpose was too vast to be confined to a collective. When Lord Shiva commanded him to migrate to the deep south to restore the physical balance of the tilted earth, Agastya had to willingly step away from the Saptarishi council. His departure allowed for a celestial shift, with another great sage ascending to take his rightful place among the 7. This sacrifice did not diminish his status, rather, it infinitely elevated him. While the 7 sages took their eternal places in the northern sky, forming the constellation known today as Ursa Major, Agastya became the solitary anchor of the southern skies. He alone blazes as the star Canopus in the south, a single seer whose spiritual gravity equals the entirety of the Saptarishi, forever holding the universe in perfect equilibrium. Though we have chronicled his monumental triumphs, 1,000 more tales of his cosmic power remain hidden in the folds of time. He is the ultimate bridge between the Vedic North and the Dravidian South, between mysticism and science. From taming the Vindhyas and consuming oceans, to birthing rivers and anchoring the southern sky, Sage Agastya's shadow covers the subcontinent. He is the father of Tamil, the first Siddhar, and the guru to ancient empire. He stepped away from the highest cosmic council to walk among mortals, holding the tilted earth in perfect equilibrium. This is Agastya, the seer whose mind held the wisdom of the gods, and whose shoulders bore the weight of the world. If you missed out on our previous video on how Devas claimed the Amrit, check it out right here. On Tuesday, witness why Lord Shiva had to run away from his own devotee.